Good morning, everyone. Don Cramer at Urban Nest Realty with the Cramer Group. Welcome to the Monday edition of Coffee with Cramer and Colleen. Yeah, I'm again flying solo today. Colleen sends her best. She's out with some clients again. Real estate is picking back up, so she's busy out on the field today. Like I said, I'll be catching up with her later today. We've got a couple of listing appointments. However, we want to catch up with you on some of the news and updates that you can use on Las Vegas real estate. So if you're tuning in for the first time, we appreciate you joining in. Love for you to comment below with any questions you have about real estate, about the Las Vegas community, and Vegas lifestyle. So we'll answer those questions and maybe even feature some of that a little more in depth on a future show. Also, like we like to call this, it's kind of our morning edition with Coffee with Cramer and Colleen. So I'm sporting my little mug here with some great little coffee. If you've got a favorite breakfast beverage, and believe me, I know sometimes a Bloody Mary is a great breakfast beverage, but we try to keep those limited to the weekend. But we're here on a Monday. What's the go-go juice that you use to get through the morning? Is it tea? Is it orange juice? Is it a Diet Coke? Or is it just plain good old coffee, good old cup of joe? Anyway, we'd love for you to post a pic on there. Love to share this with you. And again, we've got a busy week. We're always live here for the most part on Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Here on Facebook. Also, too, we will load up taped episodes of various shows on our YouTube channel at Cramer Group Real Estate. So that's a little kickoff here, and we got just a couple notes we want to go over. One, a little bit of what's going on in the news here locally. And then we've got some little information about mortgages, and then a couple other notes. So this one's going to be kind of a short one today, as we've talked a long time here about COVID-19, a lot of things, and most of you are up to date with what we've been chatting about. So with regards to in the news, most of us have heard, providing we've turned on the news in the last, let's say, 96 hours, the Governor Sisolak, has announced implementation of what we call the Phase 1 reopening. So that's begun to take effect on the 9th of May. So we've got Phase 1 reopening. And so businesses are going to be reopening. However, there are businesses that will not be reopening as part of Phase 1. However, if you go to the website called Nevada Health Response, NV Health Response, they have a list of businesses, yours may be one of them, that is part of the reopening. So just to kind of give you an idea here as to the phased reopening situation, places that are included are, locations such as restaurants, things such as, hair salons, things of that nature. Areas where they can kind of control the number of people in there. One of the items that are not in Phase 1 are taverns that do not serve regular dining. So there are some restaurants that I know are still starting to reopen because there's going to be various requirements in those locations as to how they can operate. And again, what they're trying to do is, can they provide social distancing, sanitation, and mitigate any type of transfer of the coronavirus in their businesses. So retail shops are going to probably be limited in capacity. Restaurants that are reopening are going to be limited capacity. However, they'll still be doing some to-goes. There is yet to be announced situations with regards to gyms and other locations where there may be more people concentrated in a location. So those look to be part of what they call Phase 2. There's also some discussion about the hotels and casinos starting partial openings roughly around Memorial Weekend. That has been some news in the interwebs and on television. So we're waiting to hear if there's confirmation. However, I do believe a couple of the hotels are still taking reservations going into Memorial Weekend with a planned reopening, and we're going to understand what some of that reopening is going to be coming down the pipe. The governor stated that, sort of based on conditions, that Phase 1 will probably be 2 to 3 weeks, maybe and will be adjusted time-wise based on the number of cases and the load to the medical system on COVID-19. So if we're still in a good track and we're still manageable with regards to the healthcare system on COVID-19, we could see phase 2 and the next set of places begin to reopen maybe in 2 to 3 weeks. Again, if there's a pickup, it may take a little longer. So let's hope for great, safe reopening of restaurants. It's great to see some places. Hair salons, big shout out to my hairstylist Alexis over at Suite One up over there off of Wallapai for being back open on Saturday and getting what was starting to look like the rough at Wingfoot Golf Course a little bit of a chop, and so I greatly appreciate that, and I know a lot of friends and family do. So they're reopening. Excuse me. Also, too, had a chance to go grab a little bite to eat at one of my favorite little cafes, Cafe Leone over in Tivoli. Have a little mocha, a little open face sandwich there, and just enjoy the sunshine. Again, that is a very popular place. However, tables are being spread out. They're practicing sanitation protocols and cleanliness protocols with delivery to try to minimize contact of surfaces, things of that nature. So we appreciate these restaurants adapting and getting open soon, and we'll probably be seeing more restaurants open up here over the next several days. So that's exciting to see, as well as other shops. So that's it for the phase 1 items. So that's good to see. On the real estate side, pretty much kind of operating as normal, where we're showing properties that are vacant, not owner occupied. That hasn't really changed. So that's the most simple situation, kind of the base case, where we can go in, wear protective gear, gloves, mask, carry with us either sanitation or some Clorox wipes, make sure we wipe down surfaces, and go see into our property. And that is still carrying on. Now, also owner-occupied properties are available as well. However, it is up to the owner to decide however they choose to allow that. So it's an owner decision in that case. So if it's owner-occupied, they've got to choose. And most of the times they're off-site. Again, we're trying to practice those safe protocols as well. Then on the tenant-occupied properties that may be like potential investment property or a property that an investor has that they have a tenant in place, those are still regulated not to be shown at this time. However, that may change here coming down from the governor's office between phase 1 and 2, but we shall see. Lastly, open houses. Open houses are still remaining not to be shown at this time. However, we are doing things in a virtual environment, let's say on Facebook or on YouTube Live, where people can tune into the open house. We work with a lot of our clients. Our latest listing on our website, buysellrealestate.vegas, we have, even though it's a wonderful 19, just under 2,000 square foot house, we have 42 photos. So we have photos of all the rooms from as many angles as possible, inside and outside. We have a video tour also on there that's also on YouTube. And then thirdly, we use a 3D tool that we have taken video with 3D surrounding, and that's uploaded onto, in partnership with Zillow, on the Zillow website on our particular listing. So if you go there, and just the address, it's up online, 5926 Corazon. We're excited for it to be on the market, but you would see how we're trying to provide as much video content for a buyer so they can understand the house before even stepping foot in it. So we're still seeing a lot of that. Open houses, when we do get to a situation where we do live in-person open houses, they may be a little different, and then we'll get that news out to you as soon as we hear it. So again, we're excited that some of the restaurants are open. I tell you what, it was funny. We were driving last night over and said, okay, let's go maybe over to Kona Grill. We hadn't been there in a while. And I know some people go, oh my God, Kona Grill, it's a chain. I go, well, you know what? It's a chain, but they're staffed with great people all out, and it's right down the street, and it's a fun place to be. So stop on over there, and you know what? It's probably because of Mother's Day, probably because it's just the first weekend reopening. You couldn't even you weren't you were getting no chance. So less inventory, a lot of people. So there's going to be a lot of pent up excitement going for less tables available. You know, if you got a favorite place, check it out. Maybe they're taking reservations, but it was exciting to see. It was exciting, you know, with Mother's Day, people out and about, supporting restaurants, getting back out there, getting back out in the community, getting these food servers, you know, out working, you know, out and employed again, you know, helping them with their tips, getting them going. And that was awesome to see, like I said. So I'm hoping we'll be back there for a little bite to eat and watch a couple of, hopefully, sports that are not replays, some live sports here soon on one of the mini TVs over at Kona Grill. So a big shout out to them over there in Boca Park. Great to see you back open again, and great to see such a great crowd of support there. And hopefully we'll be able to grab a table soon. And now moving on, kind of in the mortgage realm of things. So a lot of information is going on and change with regards to mortgages. And so the next piece is what they call, from Housing Wire, it's got an article here on non-QM lending, inching back into the market. So those are non-qualified mortgages. Those are a little more riskier, a little more they're the unconventional mortgages. They're not your traditional situations. So those more obscure lending situations for people that may need those to secure a mortgage to purchase a house, they are starting to get back into the market because they see the risk reducing. So we are starting to see some easing of rules and situations, and plus the liquidity of the mortgage market starting to take shape where investors are feeling a bit more comfortable with moving back in. Again, they are just sticking their toe in the water at this time. So let's continue to see how it goes. Again, I know a lot of it has to do with how the states are handling business, handling the economy, handling the management of COVID-19. So again, when we see these situations like these more riskier type of lending practices starting to get back in a little more high risk, that means there's a bit of comfort level on their part. Now, I'm also trying to get some information about the jumbo market. I was scouring around on the internet, and I know a lot of the big lenders, big banks, are concerned about the luxury jumbo loan situations, and some builders in that space we're trying to secure new investment and funding streams for those. And we're gonna bring one of our favorite mortgage lending people back on, and probably one of next week's episodes to kind of give us a little 411 on what's going on in the mortgage market, because it's ever changing right now. So, but I wanted to put this little piece of information up here, but we'll have a broader discussion about mortgages hopefully next week. So moving on from there, this is something that Summerlin, our favorite master plan, one of our favorite master plans communities in Nevada and in the United States, is making note of and news on. And it has to do with home offices. So, we're starting to see that desire with COVID-19, with stay at home for weeks on end. People were working from home remotely. I mean, you couldn't go on Amazon to find a webcam if you tried. Desk orders were up. I was seeing ads for desk spaces, how to create your space. We had Julia Oberweis from White Tie Organizing on, discussing about how to create that environment. And most people, let's say, had living room or family room, kitchen, 2 or 3 bedrooms, but all the kids and the parents are in all the bedrooms. No place, maybe except for the dining room table, to set up your spot. Well, now with this next sort of new normal we're going to be going in during and post corona COVID-19, the desire for a home office, maybe even two, is going to be greater. Now, a lot of the last 10 years, we've kind of called the gig economy. It's where probably one or both people, the homeowners, had maybe an office because one, they worked at the office and then they brought their work home, or they were a satellite employee. I was a satellite employee for a long time when I was working with my startup and the companies I worked with and consulted with down in San Diego. So before I got into the golf business, again, I was on screens with webcams, kind of talking to my colleagues, my partners, my development team in San Diego. We had some offshore groups we were talking to. So I needed a space. Fortunately, we had open bedrooms. But you know what? Bedrooms are a great start. However, a more dedicated space that could be offices, maybe a little roomier, space to put bookshelves on, space to have a little entry area, space to even have what I've got here today. This is great to have this little video cast setup here, make it really easy. So Summerlin is showcasing many of their homes with home offices either as standard in the design or optional. And a lot of them could be like, this is a home office space. This could also be, a full bedroom. It could also be maybe a half and half or a fully open flex room. So it's great that Summerlin's showcasing those. We're going to kind of probably continue to see that as a design trend and design feature in future homes. So let's be on the lookout for that. Do me a favor. If you are in a situation where you do not have a dedicated home office and are considering that, do me a favor, comment below. Or is there a feature that you've been now wanting or need because of staying at home in COVID-19? So basically, if you've been at home for the last 8 weeks, working, living, doing whatever, is there something that you go, you know what? We now need this because of COVID-19. And we're getting calls about that. We're getting calls from people that go, you know what? Love our place, but we are now missing X. So what are we doing? Well, we're going to say, okay, well, can we put X in? Can we modify the house? Or have we been in the house long enough? You know what? We've enjoyed it. We want a fresh start and we want X feature. So what's out there? Well, good news is we've got a lot of home builders, especially on the new build side. Some great incentives going right now. Also, too, we've got resales. So where the great thing about the resale is the home is completely done. Backyards are mostly done as well. Window coverings all in. So those are costs you don't have to incur later, but we'll have the features you want. And you may want it, but you may have to dial it in just slightly. So again, what is that feature you now need in your house? We would love to hear it. Do us a favor, comment below. We want to hear. And that's kind of about the news for this Monday. So we're kind of a little slow start. We hope everyone, with their moms had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. It's kind of weird having to be able to do this vis-a-vis a virtual situation, but we're glad to see people out there. We're glad to see some restaurants opening. So again, we hope people and the moms out there this past Sunday had a wonderful Mother's Day. Now this week we've got some great guests on the show. So just to kind of give you a quick idea, tomorrow show, great friend and colleague, Tom Tezak. Tom Tezak is a realtor in Maui with Lifestyle Maui Real Estate Team. And I'm looking forward to having Tom on. We're part of a couple of business networking groups and coaching groups together. Tom's a great guy, and he's selling Lifestyle Maui. So talk about somebody that's mucho jealoso. I was born and raised on Oahu. Believe me, if I hit the lottery, I'm calling Tom, and I'm looking at that lot or that house on Kapalua. So we're going to be excited to have Tom here. over the interwebs. He's going to be remoting in, and we're going to be talking to Tom about what's going on in Maui, a little bit with COVID-19. Also talk about what's going on in Maui real estate. Who are the people buying down there? Who are the people selling down there? What's it like living in Maui? I probably don't think it sucks. Probably doesn't. So anyway, Tom's on tomorrow. And then Wednesday, housing update week over week. And then Thursday, another good friend and colleague and actually fellow urban nester, Rudy Romano, is going to be in. And Rudy is my go-to on our team for commercial real estate. So the good news is Rudy's going to be here giving us the 411 as to what's going on in the commercial real estate market here in Las Vegas. So we're going to talk about, strip mall retail. We're going to talk about commercial development, kind of get the 411. Let's kind of call it at the 5,000 foot level. So people, you hear a lot about what's going on the residential side. You hear it from here all the time. We want to make sure you've got a little idea what's going on in commercial, because commercial means jobs. Means construction, means development. That means, the foundations for a healthy economy. So as we kind of climb out of this corona situation, Rudy will be remoting in and discussing what's been going on, what the current situation is, and kind of where we're going forward in commercial real estate. And then on Friday, it's actually not going to be a Coffee with Cramer and Colleen live, but we're going to have a show that we're taping right now, and it's going to be on an April recap of the housing market. So even though we do our week over week, we're going to do an in-depth show. It's going to be about the same length here. Again, about April. So we've recapped what happened in March. March was kind of a tale of two real estate months. We had a booming first half, and then we had a flat second half. So it kind of evened out, but wound up on the better side. April is going to show okay, this has been full month lockdown, first month of forbearance, what's going on and how things are going. And then we're going to kind of compare that against what's been going on for the first week or so in May and how we're going to roll forward. So again, that's going to be a taped show, but again, it's housing market info. A lot of people tune in on it. So they've got a good grasp of what happened in the April housing market stats. So we just got those info out and we're getting that show taped. So we appreciate everyone tuning in. I'm Don Cramer, and on behalf of my partner, Colleen Schaefer, we're with the Cramer Group at Urban Nest Realty, and we appreciate you tuning in to Coffee with Cramer and Colleen, and we thank you very much. And again, more now than ever, your real estate experience matters. So if it's buying, selling, investing, or even commercial real estate, if you have a question, you'll want to run something by us, please feel free to do so. We'd love to answer those. We could set up a Zoom chat, go over those, so that way you have the information you need to figure out what you want to do with real estate in Las Vegas. So again, we appreciate you tuning in, and until tomorrow, have a wonderful day, Monday. Take care. Bye.